remember this?
No, no, Manoj. I mean, you haven't shown for sure. I'm confident about it. Any of the guys, do you think we have covered this topic? I'm sure that, I mean, we have never.
Uh, no.
Right?
No, never, Manoj. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, then that's fine. So right now I'm going to show you the parameters and variables concept. And the incremental thing, yesterday we were trying to load the insert and updates and also the incremental thing, the same concept which we are doing through, we are doing whatever changes only we are updating, right? So the same logic today we'll be discussing in a different way. See here. So everything got updated. Nothing is changed, right? So it did not get updated. So coming to the next topic here, usually what are the parameters and variables? First, we'll discuss about the parameters. Okay, go to the help content, and if you go to the map designer guide, mapping parameters and variables. So mapping parameters and variables. Parameter remains a constant value that you can define before running a session. A mapping parameter retains the same value throughout the entire session. So if we give a mapping parameter, it doesn't change. It doesn't change between the sessions. Unlike a mapping parameter, the variable changes its value between the session runs. So what is the variable, what is the mapping parameter, we'll see. So here we are declaring this particular connections as a relational equal to HR, and we are using a variable here, right? This is a variable logic, we call it as. But when I talk about the mapping parameters in variables, this is whole different concept. So right now, for example, we are in development environment. We are working in the development environment. So we prepared the mapping, and we want to move it to the testing, and from there testing to the production. Right, guys? Am I right? What will we do actually? We develop it, we test it, and it goes to the production. That is a SDLC concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in development environment, these connection names usually HR and work will not be the same in production. Might be. So every time you don't want to go and change the mapping, right? You should not go once you develop the mapping, you should not touch it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the concept. So if this HR schema is changed to some other thing, again you come here and you do changes to all the mapping, because this HR schema is used by n number of mapping. You got my point.
Yeah.
In the workflow, there are n number of workflows where there are n number of sessions using the same HR schema. And if the HR schema is changed from HR to HR underscore something, etc., you don't want to go to all the mappings and change it, save it, validate it, and again you have to test it, right?
Yeah.
So it's a big thing. So for those things, we have a concept called parameter file. So we declare it as a parameter, this database connections as a parameter, and call them in the parameter file. Okay. So how do we do that? I'll tell you. So let us first go to the notepad and we'll create a parameter file. In the notepad, what will we do? We'll give the folder name? Training, right? Workflow name, what is the workflow name? wkf.emp, right?
Underscore. Yeah.
Okay. Now, under this workflow, I'll give this session name. Okay. I'm going to take this session name and I'll give it here. So, under the session name, I'll go to the mapping, go to the database connections, okay, and I will declare this, use a variable here, db connection underscore source, okay, copy this one, and I will use as db connection underscore target, okay, and now I go here, paste it here, I go here, paste it here and remove it as target. And what is our source? What is our target? Right?
Yeah.
So whenever the source, it goes to this HR. Whenever I say DB connection on target, it is work. So what is actually DB connection target? Dollar target which we gave here. When I say dollar target, it comes and takes DB connection target and it comes to the work. What we directly gave here, we are calling them in a parameter file. We call this file as parameter file. So in this folder under the workflow, you can give n number of sessions. If you have another session s underscore blah blah blah, you can give many sessions, right? So now you have to save parameter file. Let me save it in the desktop for now. Okay. I will call it as wkf underscore emp parameter file. Okay. What is wkf? No, I want to save the changes. wkf underscore emp parm. Okay. I save it on the desktop. Now go to the session, go to the workflow. Okay, go to the workflow, edit the workflow. In the properties, you will see the parameter file name, right? So here what will I do is, I will give the path of the parameter file to take the connections from. What is our parameter file path? C, user, Sammuz, desktop, and this is the file, right?
Yeah.
So I give the complete path here and the parameter file name here. Okay. What is the parameter file name? Rename it, copy it. Okay, so that you won't type wrong parameter file name. Now click apply. So I gave it as a workflow parameter file. When I give it as a workflow parameter file, and I'm giving the parameter file under sessions, see different sessions here. Even I can give this one as well, this session name as well. Copy it, enter, and these are the same things, right? DB connection source target. Save it. Okay. Cancel and go to the mapping. This is the other one. Go to the source and rename it as DB connection underscore source. Right? file, it will be applicable to this both session when it runs, and it will take corresponding session values which we defined in the parameter file, right? We gave a session name here, see. Okay. So instead of giving it in the workflow, we can also give that in the session level. See, in the session you will have a parameter file name. If you give in the session, this parameter file will be limited to one particular session. If you give in the section, that parameter file is limited to only session. If we give in the workflow, it will be global to all the sessions, right, in the workflow? You got my point. Why? Because we gave the session name here and declare the parameter file in the workflow level, right? Got it? So when we run this, at the starting of the mapping, all the parameter files will be read. See, I will show you what will it do. So usually in Informatica, by default, the parameter file directory is, see, you mean to say server directory. You have to go to the server directory, Informatica 9.0.1 server, okay, info shared PW forum. This will be the parameter file directory, usually default directory, okay. We will usually store in PW forum, but usually we store it in the based on the project also. It also depends upon the project. So right now we stored it in the desktop. I will run the task, start task. So let me run the start workflow from task instead of start task. See, both sessions will run here. It says that the parameter file not found. See, user Tammuz desktop wkf underscore emp dot param not found. So there is something is wrong. It says that the parameter file is not found. So why? I think it is. Let me copy this. So there is something wrong. Let me fix that thing first.
Manoj, in this, who has the priority as in, if we mention the path in the session as well as, in the workflow. So, in the first place, is it valid? Can we do it?
Yeah, we can mention, but it's not a good practice. We should not do that. So workflow will be valid. Whatever you give in the workflow is valid.
Got it, got it.
But we should not give like that.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with this. Why is it telling?
Do we just have to mention the path and then it automatically detects, because we have included the file name as well?
No,
I'm just
no,
thinking.
it should come. Usually, in real time, we don't give this one like the way we did it. There is actually a unique script defined for that. So based on that, we create a parameter file. But usually, the normal way of creating a parameter file is this one. But let me go ahead and check that one once. Designer guide.
Hello, Pranish. Hello, Pranish. Hello, hello. Anyone's there? Is anyone there? Hello, hello.
Yeah, yes.
What happened?
Um, I guess he got dropped.
Oh, oh my god. I'm the presenter now. What is this?
Okay, he was a present.
Oh, I think you did it, right?
No, I don't. Why will I do it?
You are the host, you have the power.
No, nothing like that.
Okay, now Abhishek is the presenter.
Even you can do it.
Is he going to be back?
No idea, Sakshit.
Okay.
Oh, sorry guys, I got disconnected. Okay, give me a moment. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, Manoj.
Yeah. Okay. One moment. Let me. Actually, I got disconnected because of some hardware problem. Let me start the Informatica service. see the desktop now?
Yeah, Manoj.
Yes. Yeah. So coming back to the session, let me go to the parameter file directory and see whether this workflow directory, ext prog directory, pm root directory, src files, dgt files, cache files, session log files. There is no parameter file directory here. Let me go ahead and create it, or else let me go to the root directory. See Informatica InfoShare. So this is what the root $pm root dir $pm root dir. $pm root dir. Dir is not capital, right?
Yes.
$pm root dir. Correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So $pm root dir means this is the directory InfoShare 9 server InfoShare. So after InfoShare, what should we need? InfoShared BW param, right?
Mm-hmm.
Till InfoShared is $pm root dir, right?
Mm-hmm.
BW param we need, right? So how did it give BW param? /BW param. So let me give it as a /BW param. Okay. So I copied that file to the BW param here and I'm giving it there. So let me run now whether it still gives the same. It says that the error workflow parameter file $pm root there BW param not found. What the hell it's not found? Something else. Found.
Manoj, you used a forward slash there over there.
That should be okay. Anything, I think that's not a problem because even the forward slash. See,
No. No.
something is confused. Problem is there with the consular PM root area. Okay, let me put it in the source file directory. Copy. And let me put it in a src file and give that directory. And what is src file here? This one, right? $pm source file dir, right?
Mm-hmm.
$pm source file dir. It is not expanding that. There is something is wrong because of it's not $pm. It is not expanding the file name. I don't know why. Correct, right? $pm capital, source is capital, S is capital, file F is capital, dir, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saved it.
Manoj, is it that now in that I just observed it was written file name, but then why are we giving the path? Is it getting confused because of that?
Manish, can you hear me? Abhishek? Hello?
Yeah, Manoj.
Yeah, sorry guys, there is some internet problem. I told you, right? It's happening in some intermittent issues because I'm connecting to a Wi-Fi from my hotel. So, yeah, if you can see my desktop, let me know. If I disconnect again, so who became presenter just now? Someone became presenter or what? Hello?
No, Manoj. As of now, it appears you are the host.
Only hang again.
You are the presenter, Manoj.
Hello? Oh, no, no. What?
Can you see the desktop now? Yes, Manoj. So, previously what I did was, I was renaming the file name as .parm, right guys? But still it was a text file. So it was unable to recognize the .parm extension when I gave it here. So now what did I do is, I .parm extension, okay? And I just gave it as usual in the workflow edit .txt. So now it will recognize that and it will process the data. So when I run this, see, the workflow running, both sessions are running. Now when you open the workflow log, initially all the parameters are, all the variables in the parameter file are initialized. See Informatica server InfoShare SRC file WKF EMP dot. This is a parameter file, right? So it read the values from the parameter file for the HR and work. So where did it read? It took the data from this parameter file. It went to the session. See, link to start the session, string evaluated through. These two sessions, it was reading the data from the parameter file. When you go here, scroll down, one moment, you can see that in the session clearly. So now we'll go to the section, okay, and see here. Use override value HR for parameter DB connection source. Use override value work for DB connection target. Did you see here? These are the first things where the parameter file was evaluated, right? So for wherever it is DB connection target, it will take work. Wherever it is DB connection source, it will take HR. So that way, the parameter file is helpful for us. So in case in future, if you want to change these connections, you can directly change them here, right? If something is changed to head for EMP, just you can change it here instead of changing in the workflow, right? Got it? So these are session level parameters. The one which we give. There are n number of parameters like that we can give. So here the one which we gave, these connections are DB connection, source, target. These are session level parameters. Same way we can give file name, table name also as a parameter. So that's one and same. Everything is one and same. So all the session, how do you differentiate between the session level and mapping level parameter? I'll tell you. Now these are the session level. So now I go to the mapping level, went to the mapping parameters and variables. I declare a parameter or a variable here. See here. I'll give employee ID here, okay, or department ID. And you can declare it as a parameter or a variable. Now we declare it as a parameter. What is department ID? Is it a string or a, what is it? Integer. Integer, right? Expression is true or false, whatever, it does not a problem, okay? So let us see what is a department ID. Is it an integer or a variable? Or integer or a string? Department ID is a decimal 4, 0. So let me go here, mapping parameters and variables, and edit it as parameter and change it as decimal 4, 0. Okay? So I gave that $$ department ID as a parameter. When you say variable, you will get a max aggregation. So we don't need a variable. This aggregation, no need to worry, max or min, anything is one and the same. So parameter, we declare it department ID decimal 4, 0, and the initial value is blank. I don't want to give there. So now I go here, you know these where conditions, right? All these source filters. So I'll give where department ID equal to, in that variable you will see the mapping parameter which we declared, $$ department ID. Okay? So when I say $$ department ID and refresh the session, and go to the mapping, source files, and edit, which session we have to modify? SCD2, right? Did we modify SCD2 mapping? Yeah. So SCD2 session, I'll give $$ DEPT underscore ID equal to 50. Okay? Okay, guys? So save it. Saved it. And let me go to the table option and enable a truncate target table option. Okay? Because I just want to show you how that where condition will work as a parameter file. So it failed. See, it failed because of some problem. What is that problem? We will see. See, for department ID, it used the override value 50. Okay? Now, let me go to the target and see why did it fail. Okay, it failed because of truncate options which we gave here. So let me remove that options, because insert update we should not give both truncate tables. Let us manually delete the data. Go to the work. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I go here and start workflow from there. So succeeded. So when it succeeds, we can see what is the only 45 record. So how did it come? It took the value for this variable 50 and it used in the source qualifier transformation. See, where department ID equal to 50, right? So instead of changing, if there is some conditions like this, where conditions or those things, instead of changing here in the mapping your conditions, you can declare them as a parameter file and you can change it directly there, right? You understood the use of them.
Yeah.
So now tomorrow you want 30. So you can just go ahead and change it and save it. So if you change the mapping, again you have to change the session, you have to test it. It's a big headache, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, guys?
Yeah.
So this is how we do the incremental logic, or else we do the with the help of parameters and variables, all these steps. Only 6 records. So there is no conflict at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Yeah. So we can declare n number
So
of.
parameter, anything. So now you can see here in the parameter file, the differentiate between the mapping session and the mapping level. How do you differentiate? Now you have to tell me the answer. I'll show you the file. How do you differentiate between the mapping level and the session level? You have to tell me the answer. By looking at the parameter file, how can you tell this parameter or this variable is a mapping, this parameter or this variable is a session? Simple. $$ is mapping, $, is session.
Mm-hmm.
Understood?
Yeah.
All $$ are mapping. $$ are session.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So this is the concept of parameters and variables, but it is not that simple. This is a very big concept. You can do dynamic parameters and variables, all these stuff you learn, but we can't cover that all these things, dynamic parameters, how do you, that all advanced concepts of informatica, the dynamic things. But you should know at least this concept, the mapping and parameters and variables, why they are used. Got it? So if you need more things, you can study by going to the workflow guide. The advanced workflow guide will be there in the top. Here it will be the parameters and variables in session. All these you can study. So today I am going to tell you another thing is error, error handling. Okay. So let us go. How do the error concepts work? Okay. Let us go to this mapping. If there is some error, we have to capture them in some error tables, right? Why did it error out? You have to know. Am I right, guys? So for that, what will I do is, I will put same logic for update also. Okay. So then it will error out, right? Wantedly we want to error out and see how will it write to the error tables, right guys? Am I right? If I use the same logic in insert and update also, what will it happen? It will try to insert a duplicate record or try to update a duplicate record, right? Right? Obviously our
You're not audible.
right? If we don't want a mapping to fail, error log type. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Manoj.
Okay. So here, if you see error log type, relational database, I select it. Okay. Where in the config object? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Manoj.
Okay. In the error log DB connection, I give the name $DB connection error. Okay. Okay, guys. And okay. Now I go to the C source file. In that parameter file, I will give $DB connection source equal to work, error equal to work scheme. Okay. So now when I run this particular session, it succeeded, but there are no errors. But let me remove that condition there. Okay, in the mapping. Then only we can know what the problem is. I have to show you this condition by failing something. Wantedly we have to get some error, then it will write to the error log table. It will write to the 4 error table. See, 56, applied rows 56, 56. It did not give any errors now. Let me run once again and let me see. The condition is not satisfying, I think. This is not giving us an error. It is frequently updating it. Let us go to the other mapping. Go to this mapping, go to the router, groups. Is null of employee ID means we are doing insert, right? Even updating also we will do is null of employee ID. Okay. Updating also we will do the same task. Is null of employee ID. Have we defined the primary key on that at least? let me change this update strategy to dd underscore insert. I want to error out, so I am trying some other option to error the mapping so that it will write to the error log table. I do insert and I do delete. See, it rejected the records right now. See here. So in the rejected records, if I go to the schema and refresh it, I'll refresh the table. See, there is no refresh option. Okay. So now you are able to see PM error data, PM error message, PM error session, PM error transformation, right? These tables we did not create it, right?
Yeah.
So these tables are created when there are some errors or rejected records in the mapping in the session. So if you go to those tables and see, select star from PM, first error message will go, okay? And it will have error message, there is nothing, okay? PM error session. It all depends upon the error, what type of error we get, it loads to the table. So in the PM error session, workflow run 20, 21, 22. So it says the workflow run ID. So if you get the workflow run ID by here also, see workflow run ID is 26, right? So this is not that error. Workflow run ID is 26 for this. So we have to track the transformation or data. Did not write sufficient errors to the table. So let me, if there is some unique constraints or some data error flow, everything will write to the error tables. Like these 4 error tables, it will write. The particular instance name, which mapping gave the error, all these things it will write. Refresh. Let me rerun it again. We're not getting an exact error, to show you some sample how will it reject. So for that, I think we should create one more mapping. So let me create a mapping real quick, okay? We'll create one mapping real quick. M underscore EMP underscore EMP, okay? Let us go to the source employees, okay? And target is employees. We'll rename that one to work one, okay? Finish and work one. So let me connect all this data from the source to the target, okay? primary key is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are creating a I think you might have understood what I am trying to do right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to insert some records and again insert some records. So then it will give an error, right? Unique constraint error it will give, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm creating a session for that mapping. Okay. Give a connectoid. Okay. Go to the mapping. Okay. Go to the connection. Give a DB connection source. Okay. Give the $db connection underscore target. Okay. Now what is this one? Target, right? $target. This is $source, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now go to the target. Bulk to normal. Only inserts we want to perform. And go to the properties. Everything looks intact. Go to the config object. Scroll down. Error log type relational. And error log DB connection underscore error, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So save it. Now edit the parameter file, right?
Yeah. Okay. Super.
And we have to include the new session name, right? S underscore. Okay.
M underscore ENT.
Now you might have clearly understood how to make a parameter file, everything. So in that session name, DB connection source, target, and HR, right?
Mm-hmm.
Save it. Now right click on this and do start workflow from top. For initial run it succeeded, right? For second run,
Yeah.
start workflow. So it rejected, right? So let us go to the target table. Refresh. See, you didn't find these many errors, right? Previously, workflow run ID is 29. Okay. And what is that transformation name? Employees work input. So this is some high level data. What data you are getting from the source? See, with a 5 delimited thing, right? You are getting this data from the source, right? 107 record.
Yeah.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So there are 51, 58. See, till 107 there will be 107 record error out. What are those error records will be present in the data? What is the error message you will see in the message? Workflow run ID 29. Input and see what is it doing. And all these data you will see in the session 29, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the name, this is the details which have what session it error. And in the transformation you will see 29 employees work input. See transformation attributes, all those details you will see. So in the data you will come to know what records errored out and how to fix it. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So understand, not only this one, but the error loading to the target table. What error? While, hello?
Yeah, Manoj.
Hello? Ranish? Saket?
Yes, Manoj.
Yeah,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yeah, Manoj, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the concept of error handling, right? Okay, that is error handling. Okay, so I will stop it for today, and tomorrow I will be completing the other things, small things like I will show you one thing: duplicate source records, normalization, and union transformation. Okay.
Yeah, Manoj.
Okay, guys.
Manoj, one quick question.
Hello.
Manoj, hello.
Can you hear?
Yeah, Manoj, one quick question. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember that SCD Type 3 is like the
Yeah. Come on, go ahead.
Yeah, SCD Type 3 is least used, so you will be covering it, or we are just going to...
No, you guys have to practice that. I told you the concept of STD Type 3, right, completely. So we never use it in any places.
Yeah.
So you need to know the concept. The concept is which we discussed, right?
Yeah. Okay.
We'll add a new column to the table.
Yeah, and we preserve it. Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll complete normalization, union transformation, removing the duplicate source records. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, you can wind up the session, and you can read all the performance tuning documents which I sent you, and target load plan, those all things. Everything is in the documents right now for you guys. So it's all how hard you work and how you practice. And I will give you a link tomorrow for other real-time scenarios. There are some links which you can practice in the Informatica website. I'll give that website username and password. You can practice it from there. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, good night. Bye.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Cool.